Hey guys, Rangel again, and I want to do a video about two things. The only two things that we really have control over is our actions and our attitude. That's the only things you have a control. Everything else just happens. Actions and attitude. You know, they always say knowledge is power. And the reality is, and excuse my language ahead of time, that's bullshit. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. You've got to take the action on the things that you know. On the knowledge you have, you got to put it into action. 40% of doctors are overweight. Now let me ask you something. Do you think that these guys, these doctors, are overweight because they don't know how to not be overweight? No. You know why they're overweight? Because they don't take action to put the things that they know, okay, the knowledge, they don't take their knowledge and put it to action. That's why they're overweight. Action doesn't require any motivation. It doesn't require any skill. What it requires is you to have the will to do it. You to go out there and make it happen. But it doesn't require any skill. Matter of fact, by doing the actions, the skill will develop. See, that's an attitude. My attitude is, if I take enough action, I'm going to get good. You know, Jim Rohn says, in the beginning, when you're new, make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Meaning do more action. So for instance, if somebody is 10 times better than you at something, do 10 times more of that thing. He says, when it comes to numbers, sales, he says, if you could get 9 out of 10 and I can get 1 out of 10, if we have a 30-day contest, I will beat you. Why will I beat you? Because in that month that you talk to 10 and get 9, I'll talk to 100 and get 10. I beat you. You see, that is an attitude regarding actions. See, and then your attitude, there's a quote that says, your attitude will determine your altitude. See, your attitude is a choice. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, your attitude is a choice. I remember when I used to have a car that broke down on me. And in the beginning when stuff like that would happen, I would get frustrated. I would even kick the car. And I was just on this negative attitude, which put me into a negative frequency. Okay, I started sending negative frequencies, negative thoughts out into the universe, and more negative things happened. Then I started learning these things, and then my car broke down that one time, and I said, good, I'm going to replace you anyways. This is going to be a great story one day. Guess what? Today is one day. Now, I've got the cars of my dreams, okay, that are paid for in cash, title in hand. Why? Because at one point I was broke and I chose to have the attitude of gratitude. I chose to have an attitude of a champion. I chose to have the attitude that, you know what? It's all good. Here's my philosophy, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. Remember Lion King? Okay, guys? Hakuna Matata means no worries. Because whatever happened to me, guess what? What I have in my mind, I have control over it. You ever meet somebody that's so negative about anything? I tell people all the time, I say this joke all the time. Some people are so negative, they can walk into a dark room and develop. Well, guys, here's a reality. You give somebody a piece of delicious chocolate cake, and they love chocolate, but then they'll complain about the frosting. Okay? Or somebody will get a raise at their job or whatever the case is, and they got more money, and they're happy about that, but then they complain about the added responsibilities. Okay? A lot of people complain about things. I'm like, well, if you're complaining, if it's so bad, then do something about it. And if not, don't complain to me. I don't need your sob story. Change your attitude, guys. So the two things that we have control over is our attitude and our actions. Remember, attitude is something that some people, if they won the lottery, they'd find something to complain about. How do you change your attitude? Read self-help books. Hang out with positive, champion-minded people. Stop watching the news. Guys, the news is the only place where they'll start with good evening. Then they proceed to tell you why it's not so good. Because it's nothing but negative stuff. Because guess what? There's a group of people that control that, and they put nothing but negative stuff out there. And we are attracted to negative things. When something negative is happening, the average person says, oh wow, let me go and see what's going on. Then they feel bad. Oh my God, I saw this on the news, some kid died. Then you feel bad, you feel depressed, and there's nothing you could do about that. Then guess what that person does? They go in there, share that negative story to put a negative attitude into somebody else, and then it just goes, or check out the news, look what's happening, and that's what they talk about. That's a subject at work the next day. Guys, Little things like that that people don't pay attention to, that make a big difference where you're going to be in the next 6 months, year, 10 years down the line. Be a champion. Understand the two things you can control is your attitude and your actions. Okay? Take action. You don't require skill. You require discipline. You require this knowledge that you put into action to say, hey, listen, I don't have the skill, but the more I do it, the better my skill would get. Guess what? Go out there and do it. When I barely started training karate and kickboxing and boxing, guess what? I had to get my nose broken. I fractured my ankle fighting in Canada before I won a world title. Well, guess what? Action was required to do that. Okay, guys, before I made $1 million in the network marketing industry, guess what? My first 6 months in the network marketing industry, I made $60. $60 inside of a 6-month period. That's $10 a month. Let me tell you something. Do you think I regretted that when I made over $1.2 million in an 8-month period? Absolutely not. Why? Because I was able to take action. I controlled my attitudes. So anyways, quit whining about what you don't have and go out there and get it. What you want doesn't require you to wait in line. It requires you to take action. It requires you to have a positive champion attitude. And if you're not willing to do those things, don't get other people depressed. Okay? If you're depressed, don't go and share your story with somebody else and depress other people. It's their life. You deal with your own stuff on your own damn time. Keep that bullshit to yourself. Set your goals and go out there and hit them. Become either a go-hitter, and if not, you're just a bullshitter. And somebody like me, matter of fact, if any of my friends are watching this, if you got any bullshit sob stories, keep them away from me. And damn right I'm cussing. You know why? Because I'm grown. Okay? And if you don't like it, there's a friend button, and you could click on it, and you could unfriend me. Because I will never apologize for being real. And that's some real stuff right there.